Good morning.
Wait, oh, good morning. Oh, I didn't play my clip.
It's the Sunday Morning Brew with Maddie and Elle.
I tried to time it. It didn't happen. No, it didn't play.
Good morning.
This is why Maddie is in charge of the videos, guys. Good morning.
That's all right. We're human. It's Sunday. It's all good. I hope you can hear me and see me okay.
Yeah. No, you're great. If you want to turn yourself sideways, you can. I don't know if...
So for some reason, it puts me upside down when I do that. I don't know.
Is your phone locked? Is your phone like...
Oh.
Hey, there she is.
Call. Hey. What's up? What's up,
Ross?
The dog is somewhere.
What's up?
There's the doggy, dead asleep. So yeah, we're en route. Let me see. How do I hold this? There we go. We're en route to where are we going? Staten Island?
Long Island.
Long Island, to see some fam. So I'm joining from the car here. I got my coffee though.
Let's go.
It's almost gone. You drinking your coffee yet?
Yes.
I might have to hold it this way. This is easier. Can you hear me? God damn it.
I am. I'm free. We're starting off rough.
Oh no.
Ugh. Page unresponsive. Stop it, StreamYard. What are you doing to me? I need to get like an Ethernet cable.
Ooh,
that's what I need.
That's a solid idea.
I need to stop trusting my Wi-Fi. Oh, I'm back.
That's
what we need. That wouldn't help you here. Okay, I think I'm back now. I don't appear to be freezing.
There we go. Now I see you.
You look good. Are we good?
Guys, it's fine. Technical difficulties.
There we go. Okay.
We're not perfect.
We're good. We're good. Comments are coming into the chat.
Hell yeah.
Things are okay.
That's what I like.
Good morning, Ricardo.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, so like I was saying, got the coffee on lock. We went to Beans and Bread. Not really crazy about the name of it, but the coffee is delicious.
You don't want to start your morning off with some beans?
Not really. I was kind of hoping to start off with Grind Ops coffee.
Okay.
That would have been much better. But exactly. I need to get my hands on that mug.
Dude, I have been using it every day. Like this gets washed right after coffee because I'm like, I need this mug. It stays so hot. It's like my favorite thing ever. I'm just rubbing it in Maddie's face.
Huge shout out to Grind Ops. Also, we love our family over at Wow Wipes.
Yes.
Workout wipes
keeping
for
the
women.
Skin.
You guys are fantastic. I packed it in my backpack. Exactly. I've been like spending a whole weekend in the car and like, you know how that gets. You just feel disgusting. So I've just been like every so often giving my face a little wipe. It's perfect. So shout out to you guys. Last night, some solid fights.
Yeah, no, for sure. The prelims were kind of the show stealers to me. I feel like I enjoyed watching the prelims a lot. You had Wang Kong had a massive knockout in her debut. Francis Marshall and Dennis Bazukia went to war. Good on Francis. Francis took that fight on like 4 days' notice. I was like after the fight, I can't remember which commentator.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, oh, we took this fight on relatively short notice. I'm like, relatively? Like I saw him Monday and I was like, hey, did you get the fight? And he's like, I don't know. Like he did not know he had a fight Monday of like last week. So I was literally like,
dude,
they found out like Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm pretty sure. And he was like, okay, I guess I'm going to Vegas. Headed off. What a G.
I mean, knowing that makes it so much more impressive because it was such a close fight and such a good fight. And like that first round for him was like perfect. It was such a good game plan. Corner. That was pretty awesome.
It was a good corner. I heard part of what you said. You're cutting out a little bit. We're losing you. A little patchy. But You're back. You're back. It's all good. You just like shift every now and then. It's like whoosh, whoosh. But you're here. Yeah, no, he looked great. I honestly thought he won every round. I think you could have given round 3 to Dennis. I did not see how you could give him second round personally because he got dropped and almost finished. Like the round was pretty split. Francis won the first half of the round. Dennis won the second half of the round. But the half of the round that Dennis won was close-ish, and the half of the round that Francis won, he almost finished him. So I don't know what that judge was seeing there. But yeah, great, fantastic fight. Dennis is tough. Both guys have crazy chins. Like, they were just eating shots, making me so nervous.
It was wild. Whoever gave him 30-27, though, is ridiculous.
For Francis? I gave him every round.
I can never say his last name.
I gave Francis every round.
Did too. But didn't somebody on the scorecard give Bazooki a 30-27, or did I hear that
No, I'm
wrong?
pretty sure it was, the 30-27 was for Francis, and then the other two were 29-28. Which I still disagree with. I don't think you can give Dennis the second round.
Okay, that made more sense, because I thought it was for him.
Oh, no. That was for, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, but I thought that was a fantastic fight.
Yeah, it was balling. It was such a good fight.
Yeah.
I'm like half awake. Grant got home at like 6 a.m. and woke me up, which of course is fine. But I'm like, no. Because I couldn't get back to sleep. Okay. But yeah, no, that fight was amazing. The Gerald Meerschaert's a freaking dog. He's
such a dog. Oh my God. I've always been a fan of him. I've always been a fan of him, but he is just so fun to watch. I was so nervous. I was like, please don't get finished. Please don't get finished. And then he does what he does, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, dude. I was watching with Moicano and Thiago Moises and their wives yesterday, and Moicano had picked GM3, so he was sweating for a minute. He's like, no, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it.
Oh,
and then as soon as he got on top, he's like, running around. I'm pretty sure he picked Neil Magny too, though. So I think he was pretty upset there. Which Magny was looking good. Michael Morales was a really complete fighter, man. Like he's dangerous. He's dangerous. That kid's really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I think people were really like, oh my gosh, like Neil Magny beat Mike Malott. But Mike Malott hadn't been tested too much before the Magny fight. And he looked really good until he didn't, and it's like, it's hard to tell with those guys that, like, when they experience that first taste of adversity in the UFC, it's like, oh shoot, they weren't like, they just didn't quite have it yet, and Michael, he's a fantastic fighter. He'll come back and grow. But I think Morales is a dangerous kid, and he showed some toughness too. But yeah, the fights were good. We had another, super close decision Angela Hill fight because
the decision Ada.
What she does best. It's what she does best.
But so I couldn't help but notice she posted on Instagram kind of like throwing shade at the fact that she lost, and then thanked Tabitha for a great war, but then she's also saying like basically throwing shade. And it's like, it got closer. I gave her the third round, maybe.
Yeah, I gave her the third.
There's no way you can give her that as a victory. Like, you can't watch that and tell me you think you won.
It was a close fight. Close fight. I scored it the same as you. I gave Tabitha rounds 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But for sure. And you can, if it's a close fight, like I understand being like, man, like I really felt like I won that one, But it's hard to be upset, especially when you consistently have the same issues.
Exactly.
Like, you consistently have these close fights. It's hard to be upset when it's just the same over and over. It's a pattern. And over again.
It's a pattern. Like
it sucks. It sucks because being a small woman, it's super hard to finish. And like, I'm not a fan of Angela Hill by any means, but I definitely understand it's hard to finish girls at 115. Like, it just is. these girls are small. Like, we don't have a ton of power.
It's hard to finish girls, but not everybody's going to a split decision over and over and over again.
Well, this time she didn't even get a split decision.
You have to figure out a way. Yeah. You just
Sean,
have to figure out a way to switch up the game plan just a little bit.
Sean said, I thought Angie won round 2 and 3, was rooting for so G would possibly get the fight she wanted. Yeah, I would love for Jillian to get that fight too. I don't know that it makes sense right now, you know, like it did when she was coming off her first finish in a million years. But I don't know that it makes sense now, obviously, because G's on a little bit of a tear. Huge win over Michelle. So, but yeah, I would have liked to see G get that fight. But what is, like, I feel like Angela Hill is one of those girls that, like, will never get cut. Like, the UFC will never cut her. She can go 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 for the rest of forever till she's 50, and because she'll fight anybody. She's always in shape, and she always puts up a fight. Like, even some of the toughest girls she's fought, like she at least makes it to the scorecards most of the time. So yeah, it's she's got a future, you know, like, you know, she's always gonna be there in the UFC.
Yep, agreed. And if you didn't know who Wang Kong was, now you do. Oof. Holy shit. That was fantastic. So her story is pretty cool. Like, she basically came out and was like, I don't deserve to be on the prelims. I should be on the main card. Okay, interesting. And then, like, she has wins over Valentina Shevchenko, I believe, in Muay Thai. So it's like, talk about, like, just pure confidence. And then to come out swinging like that, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm a fan now, for sure.
She's a beast, an absolute beast.
I'm excited to see what she does in the sport. That was really cool.
I'm excited to see, like, we've having a lot of really talented young female strikers lately. I feel like it always goes in waves, you know. Like, we had some really talented grapplers come in like the Mackenzie Dern, Tatiana Suarez era, and now it's kind of like shifted. Like, girls like I love Carly Judice, who has a kickboxing background. She's she's got some things like to perfect in her game, but she's a super exciting striker. Wang Kong is freaking power, which you just don't see a whole lot in most of the women's division.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what she does.
Yeah, that we didn't even talk about the tough guys either. The kid who won Ultimate Fighter at middleweight was a beast on top. Yeah. Dude, and the guy he beat, Valentine's good. And he's kind of scary. Like, the Viking guy, I think he's a little crazy. Scary to fight guys like that. But no, like, I feel like this was one of the best seasons of the Ultimate Fighter we've had in a really long time. Fight-wise. Like, obviously, it didn't have, like, Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko were, like, the most mellow, vanilla, least drama coaches in all of tough history. But, like, the fights and just the talent that came in that season has been incredible. I think a lot of the guys who were on the season who didn't win their fights, like, I think a lot of them are still getting signed. You know?
Yeah, so I would hope so.
There's some dogs. And then we didn't even talk about the main event yet. Dude, we haven't talked about the main event. We haven't talked about Slava Claus and James Youngtop, which was an amazing fight. We haven't talked about like, I love Josiane Nunez too, by the way. We just got to talk about her. She's such a little dog. I genuinely, like, she looks bigger now. When she first, like, came to the UFC, she looked like she could be a freaking strawweight. And she's like, no, I'm going to fight at 35 and 45. Like,
oh, damn.
And I'm 5 foot fighting girls 8 inches taller than me, and I'm only going to box them. What a beast. I know she lost last night, but I just love her. What a freaking beast. Anyway, Claus and Yontop had an amazing fight. I don't know if you saw Chase Hooper tweeted after, because they had a banger and they were going back and forth. Chase Hooper tweets, "This is exactly the kind of fight I didn't want to have with Slava." I was like, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was an absolute banger. The main event, Kaio is a beast.
Dude, okay, so the fighting nerds are something that needs to be on everybody's radar. They are undefeated in the UFC. Like, what?
Wow.
That's incredible. And then he had such an amazing performance.
Yeah. No, and against a guy like Cannonier, who's so complete, so athletic. Just a freaking beast. Like he's such a well-rounded fighter.
I think he kind of seemed a little flat in the first round, but other than that, like he was picking up the pace and like starting to put it together. But like Kyle was just relentless.
Yeah, and man, I think Jared Cannonier, maybe made his middleweight run a little too late. Like the dude's he's 40 now. So I would have liked to see him get to 85 because the dude has wins at heavyweight, 205 and 85, and his boss
he's
one of the best guys in those divisions. Like, but he, I would have liked to see him make that middleweight run a little earlier in his career because I do think he's losing a little bit of his speed, which I think I agree with you. Like he did seem a little flat. He seems a little slower than he used to. And for a guy who's so fast twitch, that's super hard to lose that piece of your game, Yeah. I think like when guys get older and girls, of course, I think you lose your speed first. Like that's kind of what tends to go. So it's like, it's kind of a bummer to me to not, that I don't think he's going to get, he's not going to like make another title run, unfortunately, but he's still so good. He's going to beat a lot of people in that division. But these young guys like Imavov and Kaio are just a step ahead. I also feel like I was disrespecting the odds. Like I was like, Kaio overall, you should not be this big of a favorite. Like this is so disrespectful to Cannonier. And I think that came from I didn't realize just how good Kaio was at this point in his career. But also like, I feel like the Imavov loss devalued Cannonier way more than it should have. Like Imavov is kind of underrated still. I think because of the Strickland loss, but like the dude's really freaking good too. And I would like to kind of see them. Maybe that's the fight to make, honestly.
Imavov and Kaio.
And Kaio, because like Kaio's neither of them are in a spot, I think, to fight for a title right away.
Right.
There's a couple people in front of them, but I feel like one or two more wins in that like range is perfect. Like honestly, probably one each because that division title shots are coming so quickly these days. Like I feel like the titles changed hands so many times in the last like year and a half.
It's wild. So Cannonier's number 5, but he probably won't be. And then
so Kaio becomes 5.
I like the idea of Imavov. I like the idea because he probably doesn't want to fight down. Because like first I was like, oh, maybe Brendan Allen, but then probably not. No,
probably not. If the UFC doesn't make Marvin and Brendan Allen at this point, what are they doing?
I know, like
they clearly want to fight each other. Just let it happen. Let it happen. I want to see it. I definitely want to see that fight week. That's going to be epic. What was it? We're at on the middleweight rankings. Where are we at?
My freaking Wi-Fi.
Dude, I got you. All right. So Imavov is 4 and Kaio's about to be 5.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like that.
You have Whitaker and Strickland are both right there for like title contention. Whitaker's already booked against Chimaev. That fight's not happening. So when Whitaker inevitably doesn't fight, when Chimaev inevitably doesn't fight, maybe you stick Kaio in there as a short notice replacement. And then if he beats Whitaker, like he's title shot immediately. Like Whitaker's that guy.
Can we talk about how Izzy didn't go down in the rankings at all?
I mean, why would he? He didn't lose to somebody below him.
I guess.
And like nobody else like won around the same time.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah,
so,
I guess
like
I don't know.
Where would he
go? I guess
why would he go below Robert,
Yeah. I guess I just kind of assumed he would drop a little more than that. Because he's lost how many in a row now?
Yeah, but it's to the champ.
Yeah.
Like if you're number 5 and you fight the champ and you lose, you don't become number 6.
Right.
Like now
you become standstill. Yeah.
If you're number 2 and you fight number 5 and you lose, yeah, you should definitely go down. But
yeah. But after watching that main event, I'm a huge fan of Kaio. I think he was super fun to watch. Like, and I think a lot like his jab set the tone for a lot. Like I kept saying to myself, like, why isn't Cannonier trying to switch it up and like try and take him down? But it's like Kaio's knee, like beautiful knee timing and like the jab
So
at like
much
awkward
danger.
angles. Like it is just like, yeah, I am a big Kyle fan now. I need to learn how to say his last name. And
Baralio.
then I fuck it up every time.
Bacalio? It'd be Bacalio because there's two R's. Two R's.
Baralio.
Bacalio.
Caio Baralio. Something like
We're
that.
close
Yeah.
enough. We're close enough. We
But
might
anyway,
be. Give Caio Izzy. I'm for that. You
I'm
can give
for
him
that
Izzy.
too.
I like that. Izzy might become the new Robert Whittaker. Like Robert Whittaker and Izzy might be the gatekeepers of that division. Like,
God,
you know,
what
it was just
what
wild to
universe
think
are
about.
we in where that's a thing? That's wild. That's wild.
Dude. Oh, I wanna bring this up. Sean was like, I was glad to see more finishes last night. I wanna get some people's input on this if people are active enough in the comments today. So a lot of people were super butthurt when they changed the gloves because the first show or two there weren't as many finishes, which obviously there's some adjustment period, or maybe those two cards were just not high finishing cards.
Yep.
Do you guys feel like it actually has anything to do with the gloves and people are getting used to them, or that it just was a fluke, you know, and the gloves didn't do anything? Because all the fighters I've talked to love the new gloves. So throw your input in the comments there.
My 2 cents on that is that if it takes an adjustment period, I would assume, right? Because you're so used to a certain type of glove, and using a new pair of gloves, it's going to take an adjustment. So the fact that there were no finishes, I view that as the adjustment period for some of those fighters. And then it's like the more you wear them, the better you feel. And then it's like, okay, now we're getting back into the normalcy of finishes and that sort of thing. I think it was just an adjustment period.
I'm with Chris here. I think it was a non-factor.
Yeah.
I think it's just like we just happened to have a couple cards that were lower finishes around the same time. That's my
yeah.
But I
feel like it's low-hanging fruit too, right? It's like you lose a fight and you're like, oh, it was the new gloves. Like, no, it wasn't.
I genuinely think they're better. I think they're better for grapplers. That might be part of it too. Is like if you feel like you can lock your hands easier and keep stuff and lock up submissions, you might grapple a little heavier, you know? It's
right.
You know, you're not going to throw as many big punches. Let's see, don't make Izzy gatekeeper. This belt will her bouncy.
And Izzy was doing
I'm not sure what was
so
doing.
I think you're trying to say Izzy was fighting well, but he was fighting well until he wasn't.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a close fight. Like, I saw people that were like, oh, Izzy was dominating, which I don't agree with. I had DDP up, and even if not, like, it was insanely close. I'm not saying make him the gatekeeper. I don't think that's something the UFC decides to do.
Right. It just kind of happens.
People fill in that spot. Like, that kind of happened to Robert Whittaker, and it's not because the UFC doesn't like him or he's not amazing. It's just he just couldn't beat Izzy.
Yeah.
And it happened to Max Holloway when Volk was champion. Like, and so it's like, okay, well, he's the next best guy, and he really is the next best guy. They're right here. So you have to fight through this guy to get to that title shot. That's just kind of how it was.
It's just the name of the game, man.
For a while. So I don't think it's like a conscious thing. I just think sometimes it happens. And maybe that happens to Izzy. Izzy, of course, can beat anybody in that division. I think he has the ability, but I think DDP and Sean Strickland are super tough matchups for him. Mm-hmm. Stylistically, I think it's really hard to pick apart guys like that are heavy pressure, hard to hit clean, and super tough.
And I was gonna say, and don't give up. Like they don't give up. Like it doesn't matter how good you're doing. They don't give up. Look at this dog right now.
Cocoa Bean. Hi, baby. Oh, she's so cute.
We just got to my in-laws' house, but before I get going, let's look at this weekend because we have another card this coming weekend, and then our next pay-per-view is the freaking Sphere.
Yes, it is. Let's go.
Excited!
Dude, I love this card this week.
Yeah,
Steve Garcia and Cal Nelson is a freaking banger. Matt Schnell and Alessandro Costa is an amazing fight. Jessica Andrade and Natalia Silva, amazing fight.
Yep, that's
amazing main event. Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady. Dude, Trevor Peake and Yanal Ashmouz are not boring fighters.
Yeah, all of these are wars. Like, this is going to be fun.
The most boring fight is probably going to be Ryan Spann and OSP. Like,
Yeah.
and that's not even going to be that boring.
Right.
Jackie and Vanessa is an interesting matchup. Two really, really good jiu-jitsu girls.
Yep.
Felipe Dos Santos, Andre Lima is a great fight. Dude, yeah, this is killer.
Yeah, I'm excited. Damn, I wonder what happened to. Did somebody get hurt with this Calvin Kattar fight and Kyle Nelson?
I mean,
Or did it get moved?
Kyle Nelson's still on the card. He's fighting. I just said it. Steve Garcia. He's fighting Steve Garcia. So Calvin Kattar's off the card.
Oh, I wonder what happened. I should probably know that.
You probably should do. Calvin Kattar injury.
Yeah, I don't know.
If
anything, it's his ACL. But I mean, that was a while back, and I think
he didn't say anything. It might just be a smaller injury.
A little hiccup. But either way, this is going to be really fun. I love watching Gilbert Burns fight. I like Sean Brady. He's really fun to watch. And then I think Andrade and Silva, that kind of could be fight of the night. That's going to be really fun.
Silva's such a beast.
Yeah.
And Andrade is one of my favorite female fighters of all time. Just all time. And her resurgence makes me so happy to see.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's see what if they know. I don't know. I don't see it. Just says he's out.
I'll do some digging.
Asked to remain anonymous. Somebody leaking information. That's shady. Don't do that to your teammates, guys. Don't do that to your teammates. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I'll do some digging and I'll have it ready for Tuesday. I'll see what I can get. I'll see what I can figure out.
Let's go. I heard Maddie and Elle might happen in a couple months. I definitely, I want to see Patty. I don't know. I feel like Beneil is getting older. I'd rather see Patty fight somebody else. But
yeah, I'd rather
like Beneil's he's still so good. The belt is bouncy. Oh, that's what you're saying. I get what you're saying. The belt is bouncy right now. Soon champion Sean Strickland. I very well might be. Yeah. He had a super close fight with DDP. Okay, Maddie has to go.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, you're fine. No, and I apologize for the spotty service, but hopefully we're back in a normal setting next Sunday. And then come Tuesday, we'll be back at you with the Fight Bananas pod. Very exciting.
Yes, we have exciting news for Fight Bananas pod. So
do we?
Stay tuned to the Facebook and tune in tomorrow. I believe we have Christopher James, Cage Side with Christopher James tomorrow night as well. So we will see you Tuesday, though.
Bye, friends. Yay.